All right. Got to build this as I fly because I was running a little bit late. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way, I follow, no need to say, where we are heading now, babe. I follow, to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good life, 'cause if I no matter what, yeah. So set the spotlight before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good life, 'cause if I no matter what, so set the spotlight before the moment flies. It's not a problem. It's not what I'm getting into. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say, where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell me good lies, 'cause I find no matter what, yeah. So set the spotlight before the moment flies forever. So tell me good lies, 'cause I find no matter what. So set the spotlight before the moment flies. Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall. And I'm coming in today with, ironically enough, our first episode of Monetary Mondays. You guys are already familiar with Financial Fridays, but I do have Monetary Mondays where I can bring, again, other professionals who look like me up so that you can get a look at them and understand that it's not something that I do alone. As Black financial professionals or Black professionals, period, we do like to partner with other professionals. So I want to give you guys a little idea about the person who I'm bringing up today. So her company is Kadi for the Aged, and she works specifically with senior citizens and things like dementia or physical abuse. And I have her here. I'm going to ask her a few questions, but her contact information is actually in the description. And it'd be great to me, or if you feel so obliged, please go to her website and make sure that you donate there. She is a not-for-profit organization. Okay. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about her. Her name is Khadija Sofo, and she stands for the age to make a difference. She was born and raised in a small town called in the suburb of Damongo, Canteen, Zongo. Okay, so she pursued a degree in tourism and hospitality management in New Jersey. She's an entrepreneur, an entertainer, an event DJ, and a voice for political injustice and spousal abuse. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring up the founder of Kadi for the Age, Khadija Sofo. Hi, Khadija. How are you today?
Hi, and thank you for having me.
No problem. Well, thank you for coming up here. So, generally, just so you know, this is a more relaxed show. Normally, people flow in, they might have some questions in the chat. I tell all of my guests, don't worry about the chat, right? I'll worry about the chat. And then if there's questions that's poignant, I'll make sure that I can highlight the comment like this, so you'll be able to see it on the screen and we can address it. So don't worry about things like the comments. And this is an open kind of back and forth dialogue. So I may cut in from time to time. Don't feel bad. It's just kind of the way that we keep the show flowing. But today is about you and your business and kind of, the who, what, when, where's, and why. So if you want to give a little, I gave a small introduction of you. If you'd like to give another introduction of yourself, so the people out there can find out who you are.
Excellent. Once again, thank you for having me, Alonzo. So my name is Khadija Sofo. I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. I've lived here in New Jersey for the past 13 years. I'm a student of Hudson County Community College, pursuing my degree in travel and tourism, and event DJ and a voice for spousal abuse. Currently, I am the founder of Kadi for the Aged. Kadi for the Aged is a nonprofit whose mission is to, spread awareness of sensitivity about affliction that plague the elderly around the world, with the express purpose of alleviating the suffering that some of them are often experiencing. We specifically work for the aged people. We combat elder abuse specifically, and we serve as a voice for dementia and Alzheimer's in the world, most especially West Africa, where a lot of victims are being affected mostly. Um, and when I say being affected mostly, as we all know, um, people are very much, very familiar with Alzheimer's and dementia in this part of the world. Unlike where I come from in Ghana, West Africa, a lot of people lack understanding about dementia and Alzheimer's and how that relates to the elderly. And oftentimes, the victims of dementia and Alzheimer's are being, accused, tagged, all sorts of names are saying they're being possessed, instead of understanding the critical scientific condition about the disease. And so my nonprofit, it's out here with a very great team that I'm working closely with to serve as a voice and educate and sensitize the youth, and so they will understand, the importance of this virus, that a lot of victims are being accused wrongly daily, especially in or being maltreated around the globe, and especially, like I said, West Africa. And if I further go, you know, if you visit our website, you will, definitely understand what we stand for and what we critically working currently, and how lack of understanding of the youth, it's affecting these elderly, vulnerable people in our communities. And so that is what we stand for.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, she's definitely trying to advise the youth and even the elderly before they get to that position of things like dementia where they are being abused. Because, especially, like she said, in the West African regions, they're being accused of being possessed and things of this nature with a little bit of a different understanding than Western medicine. What the mission is, however, is to get that out to people, young and old alike, so we can understand and help these people. I know that stands close and personally to my heart, as I have a relative who had dementia when she passed. And, it was difficult in dealing with that, just for the simple fact of seeing her mental capacities fade from her. But luckily, she had family like us who was around, who cared for her. Sometimes there may be positions where people don't have your best interest at heart. And this is where Kadi comes into play, in Kadi for the Aged, because she's actually an advocate for those seniors. So if you don't mind, I want to start by just asking you a few different questions, because you did start a business and you definitely told us your mission statement. But at the end of the day, profit or nonprofit, a business is still a business. So there's going to be some things that actually drove you to it, right? The why, etc., right? Because something had to affect you very closely in order for this type of thing to go on. And what's going on, Shango? What's going on, Cartel? Salute. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to find Kadi's information, the links are in the description of this video. So, as we go on, I'm just going to ask you a series of questions. They aren't going to be too hard, you know. Just fairly brief. I like to keep the show kind of, brief and conversational, especially on Mondays. I don't like to be too buttoned up on Mondays. I'm more buttoned up on Fridays, right? That's when I come with the suit and tie and everything. So actually the first question I have, and you kind of mentioned it, is what is your why, or why did you start your business?
Yeah, thank you. So, I founded Kadi for the Aged because of my upbringing, growing up from Africa and the village where I grew up from. I witnessed, at the age of 9 years, I have witnessed, vulnerable older women being, humiliated, physically abused, being dragged and beaten, in some cases, leading to death. I have never witnessed a death case, but I've seen in our community women being dragged to the chief palace of our community and being beaten because supposedly accused of something we call witchcraft, which to me and my belief doesn't exist. But as a kid, I have witnessed some of this horrific event. And mostly in the community, it affects mostly only older vulnerable women. And at the time, and I remember because I was born by older parents, my mom and my dad. My mom was between 43 and 45 when she had myself and my younger sister. By the time I turned 10 years, my mom already looked, 50 years and up, and she looked very old. And because of even her shape, she looked even older than her age. And as a kid, each time somebody died and they accuse another person of being killing the person spiritually, which doesn't exist in my world. I tend to think about it. What if this was my mother or my grandmother? Because at that time my mother looked very old to me. She's no more. She's late now currently. But so these things kind of like bothers me. But as a kid, I had no control. I didn't know what to do. But it has always been at the back of my mind that someday when I grow up, I am going to bring a change. I am going to serve as a voice. I might not be I am today, or how I might not have it all, but my voice is my power. And wherever I find myself in this world, I had it at the back of my growing up that one day I will serve as a voice and I will educate people about this situation. And so they will find the root cause of elderly people instead of them being accused of spiritual possession, but rather see the scientific conditions that relates to them that leads to some of this accusation. And so that is what inspired me. My older parents, my mom and my dad, and my grandmother, who also partially raised me somehow. And so that's how my inspiration came about.
Okay, well, definitely. That's a serious why there. So, I guess you've actually already mentioned what has inspired you. But in recent times, who has been your biggest supporter in your business? That's one of the things, especially here in the States, that people of our hue, whether you're FBA or through immigrant family, once you're here, nobody, describes you as different. They just see you're Black and that's that. So as a Black business owner, what have you found have been your biggest supporters? Have they been family? Has it been outsiders?
Yes, it's been all around. Outsiders, family, especially, and most especially very close family members like my two sisters, younger and older sister. They're like my backbone. Also, my professor, who has tend to be, for the past this years, when since I came to this country, she's been my you know, he was my professor, and he heard my story, and since from there, and he kind of also, I could tell he my story touched him, and he became very involved. He's called James Zivla, and so he's been a part of this journey with me, and he's very involved. Through him, we're able to get recruit some you know team members who are very also involved, and we have a team also back home in Ghana, like Mr. Aziz, just to mention a few, Awusi, and so on. And so, and also, I with my research in this country, I social media, I tend to follow black-owned business people who inspire the world. And so I learn from them. I read about them. I read their stories, and to guide me in my life, and to be better, and build upon my mission. And so a lot of, I would say, generally outsiders and close family have been my biggest supporters through this journey with me.
Cool. Very nice. Very nice. I definitely like that there's not only are you looking for people to support you from within, but one of the things that you said, you look at other black business owners or black professionals who are doing this and say, hey, what are they doing? So that's actually a real cool piece of advice. Now, let me ask you this. What is a challenge that you face sometimes in your business? Before you go, let me just do a little house cleaning. Kay, what's going on, brother? Quafinino, how are you today? Salute. Thank you guys for sharing. And remember, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. So yeah, again, Khadijah, what's a challenge that you faced with your business so far?
I mean, a lot, but as you know, it's a newly established nonprofit, and so of course, funding right now it's our biggest problem. But we trying to get there. We are trying to get a source funding, and help some of these victims across the globe, and especially those that are affected by it.
So
And
this guy
so,
right here that I have popped up, K Business Podcast, he's a brother. I believe he's Nigerian, but he helps a lot of business owners here in the States to get government contracts. And so he might be someone that you might want to follow and learn how to bid on government contracts, etc. Because one of your challenges is getting the funding.
yes, very good. I'm excited. I'm glad about that. I'll
Mm.
definitely follow him. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can keep going. You were saying part of the challenge is getting funding.
Yes, and getting people out there to the communities. It's sometimes because people have time. You have to pay them their time to go to these various communities. I send them time to time to the various communities to sensitize the communities and elders and chiefs of those deprived areas where there's supposedly women that are being accused and disbanded in homes called which is camp. I send my team out there in Ghana to visit them, and sometimes it's a challenge, it's a problem how to get there. It's a problem, and even when they do go there, the things that the outcome, the things that we see, their complaints, in a way that I'm not able to help. Sometimes, definitely, get to me very badly. I get very emotional to the point that I can only do my best. But yeah, it's those are like my personal challenges that we going through. But we just hoping we will get there. We just hoping for the best, and with the help of the audience and people, I think that we will beat this stigma and achieve our goal.
I think so. So now here's a good question, and this sometimes trips people up. But what sets your company up from to be different from others that are in your industry?
Well, it is.
Mhm.
I would say better than other industry or other nonprofit corporations. We just doing our best. Um, it's all about humanity. We critically work with humans, and
Mhm.
what makes us different is serving as a voice for these vulnerable people in our society who has no say. A lot of them. Like initially, like I said, a lot of these victims that have been affected are usually vulnerable poor women who are even uneducated, who has no family to stand up for them. They take advantage of them. And so, what makes my corporation and nonprofit unique is the fact that we are serving as a voice and to help these people. Mostly now people don't talk about it. Like back home, people don't even talk about dementia within ourselves, and so that is what makes us unique, and the fact that we are here, to help the vulnerable, aged people around the world.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I definitely like that. Let's see. This is Paige. She says, "I love your wisdom." So how much do you
Thank
know? How
you.
long? Okay. Yeah. Listen, I try to go live as much as possible, Paige. You're gonna start seeing a lot more of this coming from me. I'm trying to do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I definitely have my Friday night financials at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You guys can always look out for that. Even if I just do a quick 15 minutes from my phone, I'll always be bringing that stuff to you guys. And today, Khadijah was gracious enough to be my first Monetary Monday guest. Even though we're not exactly talking about your finances right now, this is actually something that leads into, on my end, financial abuse, because I see all too often people who get up there in age and have things like dementia, and then they get taken advantage of physically and mentally and financially. I actually had a family member who it resulted in, someone coming to her apartment and saying, "Hey, I've got, your brother Bob." And then, she leaves with him because she actually had a brother Bob. Obviously, I'm changing the names, but, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then this person robbed her for all of her possessions that she had. So, that's physically dangerous. And it gets to a situation, especially with older people, that we are in a situation where, well, I'm not exactly having a panel right now, Paige. I'm having an interview. I will let guys come up for a couple of questions if that's okay with you, Khadijah.
Yeah.
Once we're done. Okay, so I'll drop the link once I'm finished interviewing her. If guys want to come up and ask a question or two. Okay, so now let me ask you this: who do you turn to when you need advice or help in your business?
I mean, my team. I tend to actually James, who is the vice chairperson and board of trustee. Also, he's definitely he guides me a lot. Because he's older than me, he has experience. He's part of the JSK way of New Jersey, and so he's. I tend to seek advice from him. But legal advices, we we're still working towards that, but right now we're just working within our team. And like I said, James is the person that guides me or I seek advice from.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it's always good. And you mentioned something that's very important there. The first thing that you said with no delay was my team, which what that means, and that should mean to everybody watching either live or on the replay, when someone immediately says their team, one thing they're doing is they're taking a lot of the focus off of themselves, and they're actually putting the focus on what it is that they wanted to start. So as she says, listen, it's my team that's important. It's my team who I lean on. It's my team who I ask things for. Realize that this is the mentality you want when you have someone helping, especially working with our elderly people. She has a team mentality. So the mentality is, hey, I'm going to help you guys all out, and it'll be greater for us all. You won't have the stress of worrying that, you know, your grandmother's going to go get knocked over the head, and God forbid she does get into a situation where she has this. Now you have the peace of mind of knowing what to do. It says, hey, you're smart and beautiful. It's a triple threat. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now, how do you prepare for emergencies in the business? Now, with it being fairly new, I don't know if you've gotten to that point or not yet.
Yes, with it. Recently, we had a case where a 55-year-old man was just accused just recently, and they went to his home because an 11-year-old had died in the community, which is Damango, in the Savannah region. And they mobilized, the youth mobilized, took the law into themselves, into their own hand, went to his home, pulled him out, beat the hell out of him, accuse him. Yes, I have videos of all of that on my website if they can check it out. And so immediately they called me, and so we have to be on the phone. We have to represent him immediately because and the case is still in the court as I'm talking. Immediately I had to do a phone radio interview to send my voice, my consent out there. But we are representing him. His family members, but we are also helping represent him currently, and the case is still at the court. But as I'm talking to you, he's blind. He's completely blind because of the physical. Yes, it's happening. It sounds crazy, but yeah, this is happening in 21st century. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing situation, and like you said,
Yeah.
I guess these things can happen a lot more often than you think. You know, like
Yeah.
I said, that person, I changed the names, but that was my own grandmother, right? And we were like, well, what are we gonna do? So we had to put her in a nursing home, but it's not like even at the nursing home she could communicate to us if she was being abused or not. And from what you're saying, it sounds like even when people are getting put into these nursing homes and stuff, they can actually be physical abuse, which ironically enough, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I'm the insurance junkie. So a lot of what I talk about is going to lead back to that. That's actually an importance for getting things like long-term care insurance, disability insurance, and critical illness insurance. Why? Because with long-term care, if there is an event where you have an elderly person who gets dementia or what have you, sometimes we as regular people, we don't have it within us to pay the exorbitant cost that it might cost to have someone like a home health aide come to us every day, or to pay for a good facility where the nurses are being paid well enough and they're not being overworked so they don't end up abusing our family members. So this all comes and it links in together. So again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. And finally, if you guys want to get, and I'm going to have to edit it when I end the broadcast, but I will be having Khadijah's information in there, both her website and her Instagram, so that you guys can go there and make sure that you support her. What's going on, Wanda? How are you? So again, ladies and gentlemen, I have Khadijah Sofo of Kadi for the Aged. Okay, and if you don't mind, actually, I will show your website to them if you don't mind. Give me one second.
Please.
Let me
Yes, please.
share that screen really fast, just so they can kind of see, just so you guys can see, a little bit of. Let me make sure I enlarge the screen. Hold on. Let's do it like this. We're both off. Okay, here we go. So if you guys can see, this here's her website, right? And so, it's a nonprofit corporation, and their mission is to spread the awareness of and sensitivity about the afflictions that plague the elderly around the world, with the express purpose of alleviating their suffering that these cherished members of society are experiencing. And here's the beautiful young lady again, Khadija. Okay, and that's the about. If you go to the home page, okay, as you'll see on her shirt, hold on, let me put you back up there so they can see the shirt. So as you'll see on her shirt, it's actually a logo. It's very similar to her logo on her website. Okay, and it says a world where the aged aren't victims of unfortunate uh, circumstances. Right, 128 aged people are brutally killed or injured every year. So these are the beautiful faces of not just our past, but also our future. Especially here in America, we don't seem to value our age. In a lot of other countries, they value their age. Why is that? Well, we should know from old Negro spirituals things like, you got to know where you come from to know where you're going. Statements like history repeats itself. Well, there's a reason that a lot of the aged people have the wrinkles they have. You can say that those wrinkles are actually portions of wisdom that they've learned. If anybody over here and everybody watching, most of my crowd is between 35 and 45. You guys know once you start hitting 32, 33, 34, 35, the wrinkles start coming on your forehead, right? I got one right there. Well, why is that? Because we've lived through enough and we've actually had enough wisdom where we've had an expression on our face. And so these are literally marks of wisdom, almost like we have tattoos as battle scars, where these people have invaluable information that they can pass on to the future generations so that we can continue to better ourselves as a world in general, right? So she has a video here, you guys. I want you to make sure you go and watch that. You can see some of the pictures of her actually being in action, right? So here's one of her with Journal Square, right? And these are actually people in Africa. Okay, and this is in Ghana, correct, Khadija?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is in Ghana. Okay, and she's actually speaking to people. Look at that. That's a beautiful aged woman, right? And she's giving back to them. So we're giving them meals and waters and things like that. Okay. And as you can see, it's actually a reason for sharing or being with those seniors. So just a couple more questions, Khadija. So what is your favorite part of having your business?
My favorite part is having the feel that I can make a difference and make a change, helping people, serving as a voice for the voiceless, of vulnerable people who has no voice, who has no family, who has been taken advantage of, who has been humiliated, accused, beaten, and they don't have a voice. Waking up knowing that because of me, people like that someday will have a voice. People like that will be taken care of. People like that, knowing that I'm standing for them, and also knowing that somehow the youth it's listening. It might take time, but at least knowing that I'm standing somewhere and educating them to be more mindful and careful towards this vulnerable aged women. And so, yeah, that's definitely something that warms my heart, and that's my favorite part of being in this business, knowing that I am making an impact in their lives.
Beautiful, beautiful. And last couple questions here. Um, what advice would you give to someone else looking to start a business, either if it's similar to yours or just a business in general? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be dropping the link. If you have questions, please feel welcome to come up on the link. I do need you to, at least in the background, come on camera so I can just verify you're an actual person. And she
Okay.
says, love the question. So did you want me to ask the question again?
I think I heard you.
Oh,
Yeah, so I will say if you out there and have ambition of any sort of business that you think that it can impact or help the society, I think you should start off. Just have the mindset of you know be dedicated, be just be positive, and telling yourself that I can do it. It might be difficult, but I can do it. And don't give up. Like I said, just go for it. Start somehow, because you never know where it will lead. And so I will advise that whatever you want to do it, and don't even look back. Because if I am coming from where I come from, a girl from a village in Ghana, and I'm here in the United States today, it's only by God's grace and impact and making a change. I think, wherever you are you can do it also.
Now that is inspirational right there. That's very, very inspirational. So again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. The next thing is, if you want to come up and ask a question, I'm going to drop the invite link so you can come up and ask a question to either myself or to Khadijah. And then if there aren't any questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Thank you again very much, Khadijah, for being the first guest on Monetary Mondays, first of all. And just being brave enough to come out here and expose yourself to my audience. Some of them can be pretty brutal. The brutal folks haven't come along yet. Most of the folks here are going to be brutal in the fact that they brutally will love you, and you'll get a lot of brutal support. So you might not be prepared for the support that you're going to get from my crowd. I call a lot of my crowd wealth supremacists, just because we want to all be wealthy. And that's a supreme thing that we're looking to do. Cleanliness is not the only thing next to godliness. There's also some riches that are entailed with that too. Give me 1 second. I got a person coming up. Hold on. Complex, what's up, brother? You're on mute.
Hey. Zoe, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that, man. I had to go and switch YouTube off.
Right. I see your page. If you want, you can turn your camera off.
Huh?
I was talking to the lady in the back. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, how's it going, man? I'm finally able to fall through one of the live streams here, bro. It's President's Day, and my kiddo's out of school, so I got some free time, man. So I'm rolling through, man. I got to support my brother here.
I appreciate it. See, like I told you, Khadijah, there's going to be brutal support. So Complex Design is a gentleman that we actually met here on YouTube as well. He's definitely
Alonzo Ulysses.
No problem, Ulysses. He's like, listen, man, you talking business here. We use government names when we talking business. But so Khadijah here is the owner of a not-for-profit based out of New Jersey. And one of the things that she focuses on is the elderly. So I was explaining about what I do in terms of elder planning. And she deals with elderlies who are being abused, especially in West Africa, because dementia to them apparently is like witchcraft. And so when their cognitive issues go, et cetera, there's a message that kind of needs to be sent to the people. Give me 1 second. Paige, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just here in support. Khadijah, I think that you are very smart and strong. You keep up the good work, love. Alonzo, I support you. I love your facts and your ideas. I be on your shorts, everything like that. I love what you guys are doing, for real, for real. And Alonzo, do you do like private consultations and things like that? Because I have a lot of questions and I would love to pay for your services.
Yes, I do. I will put I'll put my contact in the back chat for you, and then just shoot me an email and we'll do some stuff.
I had a question for Khadijah.
Go ahead.
Khadijah, when you're doing like your nonprofit, Does it really like touch your heart when you see like cases that's just far beyond, like, like the abuse cases and things like that? Do you cry? Do you break down? Does it like touch your soul a little bit, or what is it? An emotional job to handle? I don't know. Is my question
Yeah.
confusing?
No, it's not. It's not confusing at all, and I'm so happy that you asked that question because that's one of my challenges. Because I am very passionate about this uh, my mission, and it gets to me very personally. In certain cases where I just break down, especially whenever I send my team to to this supposedly witches camp where these women are being disbanded and kept. It breaks my heart, and so not only do I get emotional, but it's at that moment when I can't help. At that moment, it's just it's it's so personal. It's that is taking a toll on me. But I I am strong. I'm just gonna keep going until my voice is being heard, until the change is done. But it definitely, yes, get to me. I cry every time. And if I you're able to access my website, or in somehow if I'm able to have contact with you and I share videos of some of these brutal, horrific abuse situations, I'm sure you, as a human being, you will cry because you will see how brutally some of them are being beaten with all this blood. Like it will break your heart. And so yes, I cry every time.
Khadija, what made you get into this line of work?
It has to do with my upbringing. My parents, my mom was very old, 43, 45, when she had myself and my younger sister. And so
Okay.
growing up in the community, I have witnessed some of this horrific event. At the age of 9 years, I've witnessed not once, but several women being dragged to the community chief because they were accused of witchcraft because somebody had supposedly died in the village, and they were accused them that they killed the person spiritually, which doesn't exist in my world. And so I witnessed some of this event, and like because of hardship, like I said, my mom, she even looked very older, and so each time some of this thing happened, I looked at her and my grandmother, and I'm like, what if it was one of them, And so
Yeah.
that kind of gave me hope, and I've always had it in the back of my mind that someday I want to understand the complications that relates to the aged people, reasons why some of these older people talk to themselves, and people tend to use that against them. And so I always had that growing up, that someday wherever I find myself in this world, I will be a voice and serve as a voice to help these vulnerable people. And so it has to do with my upbringing.
I like that, Khadijah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And so, man, this is the best show on live right now. I woke up, okay? I got off work and I had woke up to your notification. And I'm like, so it's live? What is going on? You know what I mean? So I came up here and I wanted really to support and ask y'all questions. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And Mrs. Queen, how are you? Salute.
I'm good. How are you? I just came to say hi. That's it.
Oh, well, hi.
Queen, you cooked them cookies yet? You cooked them cookies?
My cookies been baked.
Well, send me 2 of them.
I'm not sending you nothing till you have a conversation with me.
Now, you know what's funny?
Queen.
We can do it in the back chat, not on the Alonzo show though.
Oh yeah, look, y'all, I don't mind. But you know what's funny, Queen? Right before I went live, I tuned into your show, and you were talking about the beef sector, and ironically enough, you were talking about them doing magicry and stuff. And this is one of the things that Khadijah was talking about in terms of combating when dealing with senior citizens who may die from things like dementia and stuff. Grego, what's going on? I'm listening. How you doing, brother? So I just found it ironic, things happen in strange succession sometimes because
You're right.
We were talking about that earlier, and here we are on a panel with somebody who specializes, who's from Ghana.
Right. Yep. That's the first principle in magic, mentalism. And when you get in your mind, then we do whatever we want to with.
Tell me about it. But so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. Also, once I update, you'll also have Khadijah's information in this video. And I'm sorry, Khadijah, I forgot to put it in there before I edited the video. But it will be put in there. Another thing I definitely want to shout out, be on the lookout. My principal is having another event, the Brunch and Wealth. We decided because he's having an event this month, myself and Talani won't be having an event this month. But normally the final Wednesday of every month, you are going to see the business built for, or the source built for business, where we actually do a webinar very similar, and we address topics specific to self-employed and business owners. So you guys want to make sure that you fall through that. I'll make sure to put all that information in my community tab, and we will definitely have that going on in there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen,
I definitely need to fall through for that though.
Oh yeah,
me too.
It's been a minute since I've been able to kind of get up with you. You already know, man. Stuff's like madness over here. But
listen, man, I'm still working on Atlanta Life because I need to get that reinsurance. But what happens is they are very small, but because they're so small, they're freaking humongous, right? Because like I said, they reinsure MetLife and they reinsure Macy's. Right, so they're like, yeah, we're not really worried about too much of anything. Do you know how much money we have from these two accounts?
Yeah, those two like behemoths.
Yeah, so they're a small company, but they're humongous because of who they insure. So it's taking me some time, but I'm gonna beat down that wall, bro. Don't worry. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you guys do have any questions, feel welcome, okay, to come up. Right, the link is in the description, and make sure that I also put Khadijah's website and her Instagram into the chat. Make sure that you guys click on that because that's definitely something that you guys want to see. And definitely you can run through support. You can actually donate there financially. Or hey, make sure you send me a Cash App. I want one too. No, but seriously, we definitely need to get this information out there because especially with the African diaspora, we need to work together, right?
Yes.
We aren't a monolith. However, others, and that doesn't just mean white people, Asians, Arabs, unfortunately in this country, we are seen as a monolith due to the tone of our skin, whether that's a darker hue or a lighter hue. Now, yes, we may have factional warfare in between. I'm from Barbados. I don't talk to people from Trinidad. That's fine. But right now in this country, we all unite. And one of the best ways that we can do that is to support each other like we're doing here, support each other's business endeavors like we're doing here. And then once, just like a lot of other communities, like the Jesuit community, once we have ourselves established, we can bicker amongst ourselves behind closed doors. But until then, we're going to keep it with us, right? And I think that's the best way to do such. So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like there's no more questions. So, once again, I'm going to end this by saying wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress
all day, every day.
See success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Hold on. It looks like I might have something going on.
Hey, Zoe, I'm going to go ahead and drop down, man. Hey, let's catch up later on, bro, if you're free.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, I'll hit you on the WhatsApp and we'll talk because I definitely want to tune in with you, brother.
Okay, let's talk, man. All right, everybody. You guys have a good one. Peace.
All right, Big U. All right, wonderful. So does anybody want, actually, let's do it like this. Anybody want to start off with their closing statements? Well, I guess there's only 4 of us now. So between Queen, Miss Queen and Paige, which one of you guys wants to go first before I start to shut down?
I'll let Queen go first.
Okay, go ahead,
Oh,
Queen.
well, thanks for having me up, and good luck with everything. And I love the channel growth. Keep it up.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good
And
one.
y'all make sure put your do you have a wrench?
I don't.
Okay, I need to change that in YouTube.
Yeah,
Give
all
me a
y'all. If I come to y'all chat, y'all need to give me a wrench. Y'all want me as a moderator. You want that in your life. You
listen, I
need
just
that.
don't need you. I don't need you blocking random crying dudes. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Let me see. I got you right here. So we are going to add as a moderator. All right.
Queen, we
Appreciate
gotta
it.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
How we gonna do that? How are we gonna do that?
I mean, we can do it when Alonzo ends his stream,
Yeah.
or I can strike up a stream. You can come over there. You can strike up a stream. I come to you. It don't matter.
All right, I'm gonna come over there to you.
All
Okay,
right.
I
I'm
put
gonna
a stream
definitely
up.
be coming to watch y'all over there. Now you know this.
Yeah, come on over. It's
Listen, the
good.
only way I'm coming over is if I get to come up and complain about these dudes because I can't do it on my page anymore because I'm keeping it PC. But I still want to complain about them.
We can get it in. My only request is everybody be, respectful as much as possible. You know.
I got you. I got you.
So thanks for having me up.
No problem. Thank you for coming. Salute,
I'll
sister.
be over there in a minute, Queen.
Okay, Paige, later.
All right.
All right. And
Bye.
Paige, you got some closing final thoughts for us?
Yes, I do. The content that you put on YouTube, it really helps me. I just don't know how to go by the way of like tackling it. I need more in depth. So therefore, I'm gonna schedule a consultation with you off top because it's a lot of important events that has happened in my life, and I really need to discuss this with you because I just became an employee owner.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I really got to get this paperwork together, and I would love for you to help me.
Well, my direct contact, my direct cell phone I have in the private chat. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Um, you can go to the website or the email address that's scrolling across the screen. And let's
okay.
set something up. In fact, it's Monday. So I expect a call from you by tomorrow.
All
And
right. I'm
we'll
off
set something
tomorrow.
up for you for this week so that because what happens is we get into that emotion, and this is why people call, financial professionals or salespeople pushy. Well, listen, if we don't push, you'll never get around to it. Not because you don't want to, but life happens, and that your major focus isn't what I do. I want to get around to it, but I had a client just the other day who was like, I was just asking you about it, but if you didn't push me, I'd have never got this policy. I'd have thought about it 6 months later. Oh yeah, I want to get with him and do this. And she was like, I'm glad you pushed me because otherwise I wouldn't have done this. So I'm gonna do the same thing from you. I expect you to call me tomorrow and we'll go
Okay.
ahead and set something up for you for this week. Right? Because time don't wait for nobody. And then before you know it, you'll look up and you'll be like, man, I was supposed to get this done. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Khadijah,
Yes.
hats off to you, my love. Hats off to you. I think you have a beautiful soul and a great heart, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you so very much. I'm honored.
Thank you, Lonzo.
thank you. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, I'm in the back track trying to get your number off.
No problem. I'll put it in the regular chat as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you ain't even gotta worry about it. I am a salesperson for real, so I don't care that my number is out there.
Okay, y'all.
Later.
Bye.
Okay. And I'm just gonna put your website up there as well,
Okay.
Khadijah.
Yes.
So before I close out, do you have any closing thoughts or final remarks that you want to leave the people with?
I mean, not necessarily, but yes. I would just say, I hope my message gets to people. And I hope, I hope that somehow it will touch them. But before I end, I will just urge each and everyone to be very careful, gentle, with the vulnerable, especially aged people around them. Let's be warm and let's be compassionate towards this type of people in our society. Because remember, Age is just, a milestone that each one of us somehow will taste it. Once again, thank you, everyone, and hope to keep going through your supports.
Well, thank you very much, Khadija. I appreciate that greatly. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know how I like to end things off. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. Also, you'll be able to reach Khadija's Instagram and her website. I've dropped them both in the chat, and you'll also see them on the replay here. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.
In this moment, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way, I follow, no need to say, but we are heading our way. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good life, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah. So set the bar high before the moment flies. So tell your good life, 'cause I'll find a better one. So set the bar high before the moment flies. It's not a problem, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, and nothing can stop me, 'cause I'm addicted to you, and I realize either way I follow. No need to say, but we are heading our way. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell me goodbye, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah. So set the bar high before the moment flies. So tell me goodbye, 'cause I'll find a better one. So set the bar high before the moment flies.
Looking for royalty-free music? Discover Epidemic Sound.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute, salute, salute.